Welcome back, fair weather fans. We're back after week 5. Not exactly how I planned it, but I still was 4-0 on those bets. Just the one bet on here didn't do great in.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, man, he really got. That was close.
It was so close. If you took Calvin Ridley's first half and Justin Jefferson's game.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins just didn't want to throw it to him.
Adam Thielen, though, had 18 targets.
Adam Thielen had a game, but how are your arms after pushing my car?
Oh, man. That's real training for fake football. Yeah. Check it out.
Good bet.
Yeah. Would have been last week. All right, let's dive into some players that you should target and some that you should use as bait to trade away. Who are you targeting?
Yeah, so I'll do the trade targets and you'll do the trade bait. Okay. That's how we'll do. My first guy to target, Myles Gaskin. Everyone was just worried about him getting goal line touches, but when I see Jordan Howard's on the sideline, a healthy scratch, and he scores in the red zone, go grab him. If you can get Myles Gaskin, which I still think you can, because a lot of people just don't know the guy very well. If you could trade Todd Gurley for Myles Gaskin, do it. I'd do that right away.
Yeah. I'm not that big on Myles Gaskin. He was growing on me last year, and then he kind of dropped off for me this year because of the Jordan Howard signing. But it looks like he's going to be the guy, and they're not doing bad.
No, that offense is putting up points, and they're playing the Jets this week, so he goes off again. You're not getting Myles Gaskin. So just go get him. Who's your bait?
I'm baiting Darrell Henderson. He's had a few good games, but Akers has been out. Akers came back, and I think they had him on a count on his snap counts. But Akers still looked good on the few plays he got to touch the ball. So I think whenever he gets to go full speed or full game, I think he'll be the guy. So Darrell Henderson will trend down.
Yeah, I'd get rid of Darrell Henderson. Cam Akers had 60-something yards on 9 carries, and they drafted him in the second round for a reason. They are going to use Cam Akers. And I think it's just a matter of time before he is pushing 15 to 20 touches a game, honestly. I just think he's more talented, between the tackles runner and Darrell Henderson is.
Yeah.
My second guy, another running back, did decent, 15 points, but Joe Mixon again. Try to get him before he goes off. I just love Joe Mixon, and he's had that one huge game, that 42 points against the Dolphins, and then this game he did all right, but just see if you can get that Joe Mixon owner to bite, because I still think that people are disappointed for where they took Joe Mixon. He was a late first-round pick.
Early second round.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm probably biting, to be honest, depending on who you're wanting. I'm probably biting.
No,
trying to trade him away.
That's all right. I'll gladly take him. Who's your next guy?
See, a lot of people won't like this, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think you're going to get caught up on where you drafted him, right? Because most people draft him in the first round. If not the second round, I'm not sure any leagues really he dropped that far. So everyone had a lot of hype. But after that first week, he's kind of stayed at that 10-point range.
He's just not capitalizing on the red zone carries. He just isn't getting those red zone touchdowns, honestly. And I think if they get Le'Veon Bell, because I have heard those rumors, yeah, you should sell Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
And it'll be too late if
It will be.
when Bell signs. So, I'm not saying they will sign him. It's hard to see them signing Bell because Bell also wants a lot of money. I don't know how much room, salary cap room, the Chiefs have.
Brett Veach always makes it work. He's always wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that's a good one. And especially, yeah, Chiefs fans will take Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, you could get a good player back if you were selling him to someone around here.
I mean, and receivers, if you're deep at running back, which you probably aren't if you have him because you drafted so high, but I mean, you could get in Kansas City, probably get Allen Robinson, OBJ, Jerry Jeudy, like easily.
Oh, yeah. You could probably get Joe Mixon and Allen Robinson for Clyde Edwards-Helaire or something.
Like, you can get a running back and a wide receiver.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, very unpopular opinion there, but it's about winning championships.
Don't be stuck in the local.
No, just see what's out there. My last guy, I'm biased toward this guy. He finally had a good game. I still believe in him, though, because he's getting the air yards. He's just not getting the targets. It's DJ Moore, though. I'm going after DJ Moore because Carolina is throwing, but Robbie Anderson's just the guy there.
Yeah.
Because
Robbie
Teddy
Anderson's
loves Robbie Anderson. Yeah, it's finally good.
He had a few games spared out, like in New York.
I know that's the weirdest thing. He was like hit or miss, and now he's just hit. Like, he's just getting so many targets. But I still like DJ Moore across from him, and I still think you can get him for cheap. Like, I'd trade Cooper Kupp for DJ Moore, just because I like DJ Moore's big playability. You saw it last week. He took a 10-yard pass and took it to the house, even though it was against Atlanta. And
I was going to say, I think Atlanta just was confused on what was happening. They're like, oh, the guy has the ball.
Yeah.
Didn't even seem like anyone was chasing it.
Who's your last guy?
Emmanuel Sanders.
That's a good one.
If you can get someone to bite on it, do it. He's had a couple of good games. Michael Thomas only missed last week because of a behavioral issue.
Well, he wants to punch his teammate.
I'm going to go with Michael Thomas was defending himself. Not knowing any of the situation. He was not in the wrong. But once he gets back, Emmanuel Sanders won't get those targets. Michael Thomas is getting a ton of those targets, and Emmanuel Sanders had a hard time getting targets even without Michael Thomas. So
yeah, he did. Now's the time to capitalize.
Definitely, especially before they get their next game and they people realize that he's not getting any more of the targets.
Oh yeah, they're on a bye, so it's a good time to shop him. Coming off a pretty big game last week.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
He did. What are we off to now? Stardom, Situm?
Yeah.
Was that your last one?
That was my last one, yes.
Okay. My first stardom wide receiver, Scary Terry. Had a bad game last week. Start Scary Terry at the Giants. I don't know if you watched that Cowboys-Giants game, but CeeDee Lamb had a good game. Michael Gallup had a good game. Scary Terry is going to have a good game against the Giants. Do it. I don't care who the quarterback is.
Faith in Kyle Allen, huh?
I do. I do have faith in Kyle Allen against the Giants.
Yeah. If Alex Smith starts, still, yeah, I'd be more on it if Alex Smith starts.
We'll see. Who's your
but
guy?
I would also be high on McKissick.
Yeah.
He loves dumping it down. Anyways,
frustrating.
I guess. My first one is CeeDee Lamb. Andy Dalton, I think, my opinion, that team's probably better with Andy Dalton. So I'm starting CeeDee Lamb. I know some might have some reservations because of Andy Dalton, but that's why I'm going with him first.
You don't have to convince me. You could be quarterback, and I'm starting CeeDee Lamb. I just love that guy's talent. And honestly, Andy Dalton's the best backup in the league. Like you said, they're not losing a lot. I think Zeke is going to get more carries. I think they're going to feed him a little more, but I still think Mike McCarthy is just going to throw the ball. Like, the guy just loves throwing the football. Hence why Aaron Jones was a bum and never got the ball with Mike McCarthy. But, yeah, I like CeeDee Lamb. Second guy, he went off last night, Tuesday Night Football. Well, didn't go off, but had a good game. A.J. Brown. I think people forgot how...
He missed 4 weeks. Well, 3 weeks. First week he went out early, but...
Yeah, against...
That's a beast.
The guy's a stud. Against Houston this week, put him in your lineup. I don't care who you have to take out almost. Like, he's got to be in your flex minimum.
He's an automatic start every week. That's pretty obvious. You know what's weird about A.J. Brown? I feel like he runs like the same route, and it's just like a crossing route into the middle.
And he's always
wide open.
He's always open. And his yak is just...
insane.
It is insane.
Because he's just such a physical wide receiver. And just
he is.
Throwing people off. And then tripping himself and getting PIs. You know, whatever. My next one is Julian Edelman against Denver. Denver's defense is just terrible this year.
Yeah, that's
Cam
awful.
Newton's coming back. I like Julian Edelman playing this week. If you're hurting for a wide receiver. I mean, this year, you're probably not hurting for a wide receiver, but just in case you are, I think Julian Edelman is a safe play.
Oh, yeah. If Cam Newton's coming back, he's off the COVID list. He loves Julian Edelman, too. Like, he gets a lot of targets. Just hope he can hold on to the ball. It's the only question I have about Julian Edelman. But when he's getting 12 targets a game, I'm sure he can catch like 9 or 10 of them.
Yeah.
My last guy killed you last week, but this week he's coming back. Justin Jefferson against Atlanta will have a bounce back week.
Seahawks defense isn't all that great. If Adam Thielen doesn't get 90% of the targets, Justin Jefferson will do well. I mean, I should take that back. Adam Thielen had 50%. The running backs had 49%.
Well, hopefully Justin Jefferson will say something to Kirk Cousins in the huddle and be like, hey, man, I just need a few looks today. Yeah. I just like Justin Jefferson this week. Who's your last guy?
Marvin Jones.
Ugh.
I like the play, man. They're playing Jacksonville. It's just going to be an easy matchup for them. I know there's Kenny Galladay, but I think there's going to be enough to be spread around.
I hope so, because Marvin Jones doesn't do anything this week.
Then he's never going to do anything.
He's never going to do anything. But that is like the spot where Marvin Jones just has his 3 touchdown game.
No, he has one every year.
Every year.
This has got to be the game.
Could be.
It's got to be this game.
So we'll go to the opposite. And my sitems, a guy I just hyped up. So I'm going to be a little bit of a hypocrite. Yeah. Sit DJ Moore against Chicago. Chicago's defense is pretty solid. And I just see them giving the ball, honestly, to Mike Davis a lot, dumping it off to him, and a few slants to Robbie Anderson. I think DJ Moore is going to have a long day, especially if Fuller's lined up against him. Fuller's a good corner.
I picked Allen Robinson. Set Allen Robinson against Carolina's pass defense. I think Nick Foles takes a couple steps back this week.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that before the podcast. Nick Foles is great when there are no expectations.
No pressure.
No pressure.
But under pressure, he's like a Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I could see him folding this week, honestly.
Yeah.
Just going back to Nicky Foles.
Yeah. I'm sorry, not like Kirk Cousins. The opposite of Kirk Cousins.
My second guy to sit had a big game last week. Came back from the dead. But he's going to die again. Brandon Cooks. I don't trust Brandon Cooks. If you think he's going to repeat that again, good luck. I just don't want any part of Brandon Cooks. Just waiting for that concussion again. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not huge on Brandon Cooks, but who else is he throwing the ball to?
Will Fuller.
I thought he was hurt.
Will Fuller played last week.
Oh. Well, never mind then.
I'm just staying away from Brandon Cooks. Who's your other guy?
It's It's pretty obvious, but I've got to say it because I had a couple people ask me last week about him. Deontay Johnson. Don't be playing this guy anymore, especially with the emergence of Chase Claypool. That guy looks good. You can't ignore 4 touchdowns.
He looks like a stud. He's just a physical freak, and he's a second-round pick. Deontay Johnson just can't stay healthy. The guy's it's his second game in a row. He's like been knocked out of the game.
Yeah, not only that, but I've seen a lot of him dropping the ball. He's dropped a lot.
Yeah, he had a lot of hype coming into the year. Yeah, I'm just staying away from him because I do think Chase Claypool is going to be the man there. And that leads me to my third guy. It's funny you have Deontay. Juju Smith-Schuster. He's been a huge disappointment this year, honestly. And I just think, I know Cleveland's pass defense isn't the greatest, but I think this is going to be an ugly game. Like, I think, gosh, what's their running back's name? Why can I not remember it?
Who?
Pittsburgh's running back. Why am I drawing?
James Conner.
Yeah, I think James Conner is going to get a lot of carries. And I think...
Who, Benny Snell?
God, I'm drawing a blank here. This water's getting to me. Yeah, I just don't like Juju in this game because I don't even think his ceiling's high. He's just running all these short routes, like out of the slot. Chase Claypool can take the top off the defense. So just stay away from the Pittsburgh receivers unless it's Chase Claypool.
I feel like Juju's one of those guys you can't sit.
Oh, I can easily sit him.
Goes back to the investment that you made on him. He was taken pretty high.
Yeah. I'm just not expecting much from him.
My last guy, it's actually kind of funny because it's going against CeeDee Lamb. Like, it's Michael Gallup. So I've got one receiver on the Cowboys going. I'm sitting the other.
Oh, no. I agree with that.
Andy Dalton didn't seem like he wanted to throw the ball to Michael Gallup. So
he hit him on that long pass at the end, and it wasn't even like a good pass. Like Gallup made a good catch on the ball to set up the game-winning field goal.
Oh, yeah, we missed that because the bartender was like, oh, you guys don't need to watch this game.
Yeah.
Turns it off.
Bartender at Harpo's just turns the game off.
With 30 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, that
we
was
weren't
great.
like watching that or anything.
That was awesome. But, yeah, just start CeeDee Lamb. Where are we at now? Running backs?
Yeah, you did it opposite what we usually do.
Oh, sorry. Did that throw you off?
It threw me off. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, well,
now.
we'll keep the opposite theme, and you can go first this time.
I'm starting Chase Edmonds over Kenyon Drake. I would actually sit Kenyon Drake if you were one of those people that handcuffs your running backs and you have Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds. I'd start Chase Edmonds over Kenyon Drake.
I would too. He's way more involved in the passing game. He just looks the better player. He looks more electric.
He does.
Faster. Kenyon Drake looks like he's walking in sand. Or running in sand. Like, he does not look elusive at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea, but yeah, start Chase Edmonds against Dallas. That defense is horrific. My guy, Jonathan Taylor against Cincinnati. Indy is going to pound the ball. I think he might get 25 carries. Because I don't know if you watched
Phillip. Still averaged like 14 yards a carry.
Phillip Rivers looked terrible last week. His arm is just gone.
Has he looked good in any of the games he's played?
No, he hasn't.
I don't feel like he has.
I think it's going to be a big game for Jonathan Taylor. Who's your second guy?
I'm going heavy on the Lions this week, apparently. I'm going DeAndre Swift.
I don't mind that play.
He did pretty well last week. Or the week before last week, because this past week was their bye. So I feel like he did well there, and then he had a bye week. I mean, he's a rookie, so he didn't have a lot of time, in training camp, no preseason. Like, it takes a little bit of time to get into the groove with the team, and then now he's got a bye week to kind of get that going with everybody. And I think his momentum was already progressing. So
yeah, he catches a decent amount of balls, like touchdown passes.
Yeah, it would have been one more in week one if he would have just got it.
Would have been. He still needs to make up for that.
Yeah, he's still working on it.
My second guy, I talked about him earlier, though, but I've got to reiterate it again. Myles Gaskin. I like Myles Gaskin against the Jets. I think he's going to score. I think the Dolphins are going to go up and down the field on the Jets.
Yeah, it'd be hard not to, right?
It would be. So I just like him again. Just play him. Put him in there.
I think the Jets actually have a decent running defense, not passing. So I think his second half will be better than his first. I think he might have a slow first half.
Okay, fair enough.
So my third one is Devin Singletary. Did terrible this past week. I think he bounces back against Kansas City.
I hope so, because if Devin Singletary doesn't bounce back this week,
then Zach Moss time.
It's gosh.
Actually, if Zach Moss ever plays again, broke his toe.
Yeah, that guy's never coming back from that toe injury. I couldn't believe TJ Yeldon was out there so much, though.
That's why I'm high on Zach Moss whenever he comes back. If TJ Yeldon gets that many snaps, Zach Moss is getting that many snaps.
Well, my last guy. Oh, I don't even have one. You took him. I have Chase Edmonds.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well. Do you have another one, or is that it?
Yeah.
Well, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I have another one. I was wondering why I had 4 down there. Madison. I think it's an obvious one. But you have to start Madison this week. Dalvin Cook being out.
Oh yeah, he's. It is obvious, but
Gotta say it.
You have to say it just because, like, I'd start Alexander Madison almost anybody going this week. He's like my RB3 on the board, I think. He's gonna crush Atlanta. I can see him going for 30.
I can definitely see that too.
Yeah. Where are we at? Sit him.
Sit him. Running backs.
Well,
who are you sitting?
You're not sitting this guy, but if he gets 10 points plus, I'll be happy. Kareem Hunt at Pittsburgh. That Pittsburgh front is nasty, and I know they gave up a long touchdown last week to Miles Sanders. But if you look at all his other combined carries, that touchdown was like 74 yards. He ended up with like 83 in the game. Yeah. So don't let that fool you. You're going to start Kareem Hunt, but don't expect.
If you have depth, don't start him.
Yeah, I just don't like anyone against Pittsburgh.
No, I don't either. That's funny because that's what I had. So you stole one of my sit-ems, and I stole one of your start-ems, so it's even.
Oh, good.
So I'll just put Josh Jacobs because he's on a bye.
Yeah, take him out of your lineup.
Yeah, don't start that guy. I guarantee you he's scoring 0 points.
Oh, man. Can't get this information anywhere else. My second guy, I know I'm a hater on this guy. I hate him every week. I don't think I did last week, though. But David Johnson, don't start him. I saw what the Tennessee defense just did to Devin Singletary, and they're kind of the same person. David Johnson, not starting him. Just don't like it.
It's getting harder and harder to start David Johnson.
It is. And that's why he was on my do not draft list.
Yeah. I mean, Todd Gurley was also on your do not draft list, and I think he can still start pretty easily. Moving on from Todd Gurley, I'm sitting David Montgomery.
The Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. So I guess I'm not big on Chicago this week because I'm sitting Allen Robinson and David Montgomery.
I hate David Montgomery almost every week. I just don't think he's a talented player. Guy averages like 3.4 yards a carry. If he doesn't score, he's worthless, honestly. He doesn't even catch the ball that many times. Tariq Cohen's not there. Like, how are you not getting
those? Well, that's another destination that people are talking about Le'Veon Bell going.
I actually think it's a really good fit. I'd take Le'Veon Bell if I was the Bears.
If that happens, then David Montgomery definitely loses all fantasy relevance.
Yeah, the mediocre relevance that he had, he's done.
I think he's scored like 10 points every week. I mean, I think that's more of his ceiling, but
yeah, his ceiling is just not high. So yeah, I'm gonna double down on my boy do not draft list. Do not play He's going to come back down to earth. Todd Gurley at Minnesota.
You think Minnesota's going to stop Todd Gurley?
Yeah, I think they're going to be behind early in that game. I think they're just going to throw. And if you look at his stats, he's not catching the ball out of the backfield. He just does not get catches.
Not anymore. He wasn't what he used to be.
He's not. I mean, it's a hot take a little bit, but
I think that is a hot take.
Todd
Gurley's going to do decent.
We'll see.
Now, this might be another obvious one. Might be another Josh Jacobs take. But Melvin Gordon just got a DUI last night, I guess.
Gosh.
But it's hard for me to start him anyways without that against New England. But
Yeah, 71 and a 35. What are you doing, man? Get a driver, get an Uber, call up a friend. I don't know. Like,
I think it's going to be pretty easy for them to just sit him, punish him because Philip Lindsay's coming back. So
yeah.
That's kind of sucky for me. I just traded for him.
That figures.
That was actually the reason why he got in trouble. If I didn't trade for him, there wouldn't have been a cop there.
You would have let him go?
He would have let him go.
Oh, man.
The cop was actually playing against him this week. He's like, nah, you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go to jail.
Cops from Boston. Patriots fan.
No, I meant like in fantasy.
Oh, no, I know.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, yeah. Melvin Gordon, sit him.
Just sit him.
So a tight end I have to play. T.J. Hawkinson, play him against Detroit or against Jacksonville.
We're both high on Detroit. Scoring a lot this week.
Jacksonville's they're tanking for Trevor now. Like I thought they would be. They're just what people thought they were going to be before the season. A terrible football team.
Not great.
No. Who's your guy?
Jasicki against the Jets.
I love Gesicki. I've got him on a few teams. Guy's a good player.
He is.
He's solid. My guy to sit. Sorry, man. You got to sit Higbee.
That's fair.
Gerald
Everett
Everett
looks better.
He does look better. He's just out there way too much.
I think Everett might be the tight end to own out there now.
I'd agree with that, honestly. I like Gerald Everett. He's just more explosive, like as an athlete.
Yeah, he only had 4 catches this past week for 90 yards.
Yeah.
Higbee had 3 for 17 or something like that. Something stupid.
Who's your last?
So my tight end sit is Zach Ertz. Another obvious one. I think you should be sitting him from now on. He could be just dropped. Should be probably dropped at this point. Tight end position is pretty deep this year, so you should be able to find a replacement fairly easy.
Yeah, he's almost looking washed out there. He's not creating any separation. I don't know if it's because of that contract or.
Oh, it's always because of that contract. Oh, I just got paid. I'm gonna go.
I don't know. Zach Ertz, don't start him, and they're playing Baltimore. Oh my gosh. Yeah, bad news for Ertzy.
Start Goddard. Talking about the tight ends taking over.
Oh, he's been hurt.
Yeah.
Dallas Goddard.
Well, he's still the guy to own.
Oh yeah. The defenses, I'll just do both of mine because they're in the same game. Start the Rams. I don't care if Jimmy G's playing or not. Aaron Donald might have 6 sacks. So just start the Rams, and Jalen Ramsey's going to lock up one of those receivers. And sit San Francisco. People might still think they're a good defense from like their reputation. That defense is not good. There's so many guys hurt.
Yeah, so many hurt. That's not the same defense, so.
It's not, but I know a lot of people started them against Miami last week. And they just got.
I mean, to be fair, it was against Miami, and Miami also has that reputation. So if you're not keeping up, you're like, oh, well, Miami was terrible last year. Also, if you're just looking at records, Miami doesn't have a good record, even though they've played everyone hard.
Yeah, but they've scored points. Like if you
no, they definitely have. But I mean, speaking of Miami is actually my start defense against the Jets.
It's a good start, honestly.
Their defense is solid too. Like they haven't really been showing it too much, but
The Jets are just so bad. They're terrible.
yeah, I don't give Joe Flacco any credit. So don't think he's gonna do well.
No, I can't believe he's even starting. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, he's not the second best second string backup?
No,
No.
no, he's not.
And the defense I'm sitting is the Bills. I'm always sitting a defense against the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I mean, their offense looked terrible this past week, and they still scored 32 points. So, like, even when they look bad, they still
Put up points.
put up a ton of points in yardage.
Yeah, just don't test them. Just don't do it. All right, well, now you can brag about your picks from last week. Completely opposite. It was great.
Yeah, you went 0-4.
0-4.
You even were so proud to go against me on the Bears-Bucks line.
Well, it looked great before, right before half. But
Yeah, and then it didn't look great at half.
yeah. Well, on to this week. Who you got first?
Oh, I also want to bring up the whole Bills fiasco that I put out there on our page.
Oh, yeah.
I should have just kept my mouth shut. So I was even undefeated because I decided to throw that out there on a Tuesday night. Should have just left it be. Just thinking the Titans, I think everyone was thinking that way. The Titans haven't practiced in 2 weeks. You're missing Adam Humphries. You're missing Corey Davis. And so I thought there would be a little rust on A.J. Brown too, but he came out balling right back to form. That dude is a beast. And then I don't know what happened to Josh Allen, but he had two very bad mental lapses on those picks. Well, one pick, the Andre Roberts pick, was just
That one, yeah.
That wasn't on him.
That was just Andre Roberts.
Andre Roberts was determined to lose that game for that team, but I also didn't know Trey White was going to be out. That's a huge loss.
Tre'Davious White, John Brown being out's a huge loss too. I mean, every ball was going to Stephon Diggs, and eventually it's gonna get picked.
Eventually,
if Andre Roberts, your second wide receiver out there, you're in trouble.
Beasley.
He did, but he didn't use him in the first half at all. All his catches.
I don't think he had a single target in the first half, and I think that was a big problem. And then the second half, Stephon Diggs had 3 defenders on him, so he was like, "Oh, I should probably throw the ball to Cole Beasley now." I mean, he had 5 catches in the second half.
He did. It was just too late.
Yeah, way too late. And then Andre Roberts made sure it was just done. I'm just gonna fumble this ball. Anyways, this week I'm starting off with Carolina -1.5 against Chicago. Again, yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Don't think Nick Foles is going to do well. I don't think anybody on their offense is really going to do all that well. So
I like Carolina at home. That line's getting bet down. People are putting money on the Bears, and I don't know why. Carolina's playing good football.
They are.
They're 3-2, and they play hard.
Well, I think the reason is because Chicago beating the Bucks, and the Bucks having this reputation because they have Tom Brady that they're the best team in the league when they're far from that.
Yeah, I like that play a lot, honestly. Speaking of the Bucks, got to go with my Packers at Tampa, game of the week. I like the Packers in this spot. Coming off a bye and Devontae Adams coming back, I don't think Chris Godwin's going to play. I like the Packers just to win the game. It's a pick 'em. They're favored by 1, but I like Green Bay going in there. And Jair Alexander is one of the best corners in the league nobody talks about. So if Godwin's out, I'm just putting him on Mike Evans. And
Mike Evans is nursing an ankle injury.
Yeah.
So he's not at 100%. I agree. I think Packers are going to win. I hope they lose. But but I think they'll win. I think the Bucks just get a lot more credit than they deserve.
I hear you.
So here's kind of a hot take. Taking Atlanta +4 against Minnesota.
Well,
It's going to be a shootout. Minnesota's defense is terrible. Atlanta's defense is terrible, but I think Atlanta's gonna. They have to win one game. So, I mean, obviously they don't have to. I just am giving them 2 wins this year, and this is gonna be one of them.
You think they're gonna win the game?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I mean, I'm still taking the points, obviously, but I'm still betting on the points. But I see them winning this game.
Just take Atlanta money line, man.
Gotta take the points.
Oh man, I would have.
Oh yeah, like the Oakland line.
Yeah,
just burn that money. Damn it.
Yeah, I can see that. I think if I would need Julio Jones to play because Matt Ryan is a substantially worse quarterback without Julio Jones out there.
That's fair.
So if Julio Jones plays, I like the line. If he doesn't, I could see it being another. He threw a horrendous interception in the end zone last week. I don't know what he was looking at. The ball had no chance. But yeah, I'll probably, if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably take the Falcons, but I'm just staying away from that game.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's a game you're probably not gonna like. I'm taking Dallas at home against Arizona +2.
What?
The Red Rocket, Andy Dalton. Arizona's, they lay eggs. They've laid eggs a few times this year, and I think Dallas is just going to win the game at home. I don't think Arizona's that good. So I'm just taking the team at home.
I mean, I can't argue with you too much because Arizona has not looked great after the first 2 weeks. They've slowed down. They looked so good the first 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks they looked terrible, and then this past week they looked all right. They didn't even look that great against the Jets.
Yeah, you're playing like a JV team against the Jets. You should look amazing against the Jets. But yeah, just taking Dallas. Who's your other one?
Oh yeah, I was gonna take Pittsburgh, but you already did that one, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, can't even read my whole handwriting, to be honest.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go.
All right. Well, since you already said it, Browns at Pittsburgh. Line's 3.5 now. If you want to bet it down to 3, go for it. But I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think Baker Mayfield is going to have a rude awakening this weekend because they're not going to be able to run the ball. And if they can't run the ball and Baker Mayfield cannot do play-action passes, there's going to be picks galore. Baker Mayfield is not a good pocket quarterback. Like,
No.
if the defense knows he's going to throw, long day. I see Pittsburgh hammering them, just like they got hammered by Baltimore week 1, honestly.
Okay. Actually, now that I'm looking at it and you said that, Baltimore was my last pick.
Oh, yeah.
So -8 against Philly.
I'd take it.
Philly's just so bad, and I think Baltimore's just gonna run it up and just.
They just cover all the big lines. Besides the Chiefs, they covered against Washington 13. They covered last week against the Bengals. It was like anywhere from 12 to 14, wherever the line came out. Baltimore's defense is legit. And Philly's offense, like you said, I don't know if Zach Ertz might have one catch for like -5 yards. I don't know. I love Baltimore in that game. I think it's going to be a long day for Carson Wentz.
That whole team.
Oh, yeah, the whole team. My last pick, I can't believe this line. I don't know if the Titans' whole team got COVID again, but the Texans at the Titans -3 at home, smash that. They will beat the Houston Texans at home, especially -3. I can't believe that line.
But it's strange, especially after what they showed against the Bills. And the Bills aren't like a terrible team. So
No,
I
they're
just
a
don't
good
understand
team.
why they would think. Well, also going back on that, before the Bills, the Titans couldn't cover anything. Like they play some close games. So
That's true.
I guess that could be the thought process.
Gosh, just cover one time for me, please. Do you have anything else, or is that it?
No, that's it for me. I mean, now time for the reaching or preaching.
Time for the reaching or preaching. Do you want to tell them the punishment first? Or do you want me to go with those?
So, punishment for next week. We keep getting requests for eating something hot. And so we're just going to do a whole jalapeno, raw jalapeno. Like, yeah, like those pickled jalapenos aren't hot at all, but if you've ever eaten a raw jalapeno, those things are pretty spicy.
Yeah, so I really need this bet to hit because if you guys have noticed, the loser has been the person reaching or preaching, giving out the bet. So
This is
the one where the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, beats the Arizona Cardinals. Just straight up. They just beat Arizona at home on Sunday night.
Yeah, I still don't see that happening, so I'll take that.
All right. Well, Andy, don't let me down.
Red Rocket, red hot chili pepper. Eat it! All right, for Pistol Pete, I'm Chris Wong. Stay fair from KC.